Hey YouTube fam, today I decided to do the first installment of my monthly series on Ty makes a fool of himself learning to mountain bike. So today I'm talking to you about why I decided to mountain bike, what I think is so cool about it, what I did the first month, and what I learned. Well, let's get into it. All right, so why did I decide to mountain bike? To be honest with you, I've just been bored. I've been looking for something to do, and obviously I'm a ski instructor, dive instructor. I love the mountains, I love beaches. One great thing about van life is I've been integrating those two things together and picking states where I can actually do both so far. I'm about to go more on a mountain biking trend, but summers in Colorado were always a little bit boring to me because I didn't feel like there was a thrill, right? I mean, hiking is beautiful, it's peaceful, backpacking was fun, but I was missing that adrenaline that I got skiing, and I kept seeing people mountain bike. To be honest with you, I was really afraid of it because I've had some friends that have been seriously effed up mountain biking. I mean, I'm talking facial reconstruction messed up. I'm talking $50,000 of dental work messed up. I'm talking bad. And so I had been scared of people younger and in better shape than me. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm absolutely gonna do it. And I'm loving it so far. So what's gonna make this blog different? Why do you wanna watch my channel? So I have been watching, and when I started getting into this, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos from self-proclaimed experts, self-proclaimed people that knew what they were doing. And the problem with a lot of mountain biking blogs is that it's done either by complete professionals who absolutely know what they're doing, or it's by bros who wish they knew what they were doing and who are more entertained in popping wheelies and doing some cool tricks to make you think they're awesome on YouTube. But those are not people you want to listen to for advice as a newbie. And while experts are people you want to listen to, the problem is when they go out there, they're giving you trail ratings and things like that from an expert's perspective. So like, oh yeah, this is easy. Well, guess what? Maybe it's easy, maybe it's not, but they're experts, so they tend to not see things as being hard and challenging. I'm 47 years old. High risk, that's the word I'm gonna use. This is a high risk activity for me, and I am well aware of that. So part of what I'm trying to do for you guys is help you guys see, to sort through those bro opinions and expert opinions to bring you real mountain biking lessons, things I learned, things I do, and how I learned, and kind of take you along my journey so that you can decide maybe this is a sport you want to get into. I can already tell you, I'm loving it, and I've only been doing it for a month. So let me talk to you about my first time mountain biking. And I don't have a lot of pictures of it because I was sweating my ass off. I was covered in some weird combination of bug spray and sweat and mud and maybe even horse shit. Not really sure, because my first time was in Bankhead National Forest. Bankhead National Forest in Alabama is absolutely beautiful. So while we do this, I'm gonna show you pictures of the Banksy, as it's locally called. You can check out my blog post for information on the Banksy, but it's not really a mountain biking destination. It just happened to be where I was going. So why not? They had a quote mountain biking trail that was really a multi-use trail for horses and pedestrians and mountain bikes and whatever. And it was definitely used by a lot of horses, because I can't tell you how many times I stepped in the poop. So I can verify there were a lot of horses on the trail. But the truth is, it was just a miserable experience. And that's okay. It was muddy, it was hot, it was all of those things. But it was kind of cool. And let me tell you why it was cool and why I'm glad this was my first mountain biking experience. I wouldn't recommend you go to Bankhead National Forest, by the way, for your first mountain biking experience. But what I would recommend you do is find some very easy trails with some very gentle ups and downs, because it started teaching me how to shift, i.e. how to shift to go up, how to shift to go down, which when you're riding a road bike, you have a lot of momentum and you have small tires. You don't have that on a mountain bike. You have very big tires and not always a lot of momentum. And so shifting early and often is kind of the key, and knowing when to shift because you want to carry that momentum as far forward as you can. So what I learned from the Banksy and what I recommend is you find a really awesome, easy first ride, and you practice basic things like, how do I sit? How do I shift? Where should I be on the mountain bike? And it'll also, the other thing that Banksy did was I picked like I think it was a 17-mile first ride, which I'll be honest with you guys, for me, 17 miles is kind of nothing. I'm used to doing that in an easy Peloton workout. Well, maybe not an easy workout, but certainly not a hard workout. Guess what? After 17 miles of mountain biking, it starts with an F. I was fatigued to a point of insanity. I basically was covered in mud. My mountain bike was covered in mud. I came back to my lovely Rebel back there. It's got an outside shower. I showered the bike, and if I could have laid down and just gone to sleep there, I would have. I was not boondocking at that particular location. I did boondock in the Banksy a little bit. I'm mostly staying in established campgrounds, which was a bit of a mistake because there's plenty of boondocking opportunities, but it was not legal where I was. I probably would have passed out right there if I could have. So the other thing that the Banks Head did for me was it kind of taught me that I do love the descent, which is awesome. I actually thought I was going to be afraid of the ascent. Honestly, the descent has not been the problem for me. It's been the ascent that's been my issue so far. I'm not afraid of the descent. Now, I might ride my brakes like, a teenager learning to drive while his mom and dad are yelling at him from the back seat. But yeah, I'm okay with the descents. After the Banksy, I got an opportunity to move over to Georgia, and I went to the Aska Trail System, which is part of the Chattahoochee-Ocean National Forest. I'm going to mispronounce it. I thought it was Oceane, but it's not. So let's just call it the Chattahoochee. And it was really neat. It's about an hour-ish outside of Atlanta. Very cool place, and very friendly and nice trail system. Well-maintained, easy to follow, all those good things. Plenty of people up from Atlanta doing hiking, mountain biking, etc. And I got lucky because I picked this perfectly flowy loop called Flat Creek Loop. And Flat Creek was awesome. It had some nice ascent, but it wasn't radically, real radical. And it had some nice flowy downhills, and it really boosted my confidence, right? So after kind of being bored to death and kind of almost in tears at how little I was able to do, even with an e-bike, Flat Creek had the opposite effect. It helped me gain some of that confidence on the ascents, helped me have some fun on the downhill to see why I was doing this and how much I enjoyed it. What I really liked about Flat Creek Loop is it was very flowy, and you could, but the downhills weren't steep, right? And they weren't real technical. There wasn't a lot of rocks. There wasn't a lot of tree loops. So I'm gonna show you some video of me doing Flat Creek Loop, just a little bit. It was fun, truly fun. So I would highly recommend that. When I go into my next blog post on Georgia mountain biking, I'll do a more detailed view of Flat Creek Loop. This is not the point where I give you detailed trail reviews. I'll do that in another blog post. So what did I learn after a month of mountain biking? Number one, you kind of got to do it to learn it, right? Like I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and that was, useful. And I do recommend you do that to kind of get an understanding of what you're doing, but you're going to understand it much better when you actually feel it. Number two, it's fun, but it is challenging. I was not anticipating being nearly as tired as I was because I'm in really good shape, and it kicked my butt every time I did it. For the first month. It's still kicking my butt when I do it. I'm scheduled, right now I'm taking a break, but I'm scheduled to go mountain biking in about 3 days. And I'm already like, whoa, need to get ready. Riding hills, and on that note, riding hills on my Peloton did not prepare me at all. Like I figured, okay, I squat, I ride hills and hit workouts on my Peloton. I got this. No, I did not. And I forgot to mention on Flat Creek Loop, my e-bike, which is what I've been riding, the assist broke. So I actually rode it without any pedal assist whatsoever, which in a way was a great experience because it taught me more about shifting. I'm kind of glad it happened. It also gave me the confidence to know that if my bike breaks mid-ride, I can get home because I rode the whole thing basically with no pedal assist. But yeah, it was kind of miserable. Number 3, 4, wherever we're on, trail rankings are kind of hit or miss. you know, you'd see comments like, oh, this is a black, but it's not really a black, or this is a blue. I kind of think those are a little bit made up. I don't really understand how they work. And Flat Creek Loop wasn't really that hard to me. So when they're like, this is a blue, I'm like, really? Like, I really haven't done this very much. I've done this a couple of times, and this doesn't seem hard. So it's a blue. That having said, I think that they're kind of general guidance and you should use them that way. So that's my advice. You know, take trail rakings with a grain of salt, but remember, it could go the other way. Somebody could rake it as black and it's scary as shit. So, you know, take the trail rakes for what they are, an estimation, right? I will also tell you, it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Particularly, again, the descents were not as scary as I thought it'd be. I don't know why. I figured that flying, maybe it's because I'm a ski instructor and I'm used to flying down the mountain. Maybe that's it, I don't know. But what I was really anticipating was being pretty scared, and I simply wasn't. So, you know, take that into account. Try it, see how scared you are. But when you're not scared, you're less likely to make mistakes, right? You're more confident, you're gonna take on a little more, and momentum is our friend till it's not, right? Like with skiing, momentum's our friend. It covers a lot of mistakes till it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it tends to go horribly wrong. The other thing is, I'm gonna give you some advice. The one thing I learned from the Banksy was start slow. Learn your body, learn your equipment, because all of those things are things that I had not anticipated. So start slow, take some easier rides. And as you start slow, you'll build confidence, you'll build knowledge, you'll build understanding, and they'll prepare you to actually absorb more knowledge later because you've already got the basics covered and you're not worried about things that you shouldn't be worried about, like how your bike shifts. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, follow our content, drop a comment, drop me a line. Love to know what you think. Love to have you along for the journey. Thanks for watching. Take care.